What's up, YouTube? I'm Benny, and today we have a vintage video game haul. What's up, collectors? Thanks for tuning in to another video. Like you heard in the intro today, I picked up a bunch of vintage video games. So I grew up a gamer way before I was into comic books, and I feel like the video game market is becoming more and more similar to the comic book market every day. And this is something that I wanted to do for a very, very long time, and I don't want to wait anymore, so we're going to start picking up these vintage video games, and we're going to start building our collection. There's a lot of different ways that you can collect these old games. Some people collect consoles, other people collect the controllers, you can collect the games themselves. You can even buy graded games. So it's like a slab comic book. You get a slab game with a grade on it. It's absolutely unreal what some of these graded games sell for. It almost makes me want to pass out because I remember opening these boxes and having some of them when I was a kid. So what I'm going to focus on are the games themselves right now. We're going to focus on the cartridges. Maybe we'll get into the boxes or some graded games down the road. But right now we're just going to focus on the games themselves. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the games and see what I picked up. All right, so our first game up is a Super Nintendo game. The back needs a little bit of a cleaning, but we have Super Mario World for Super Nintendo. The label is in great shape here. Now, I never owned a Super Nintendo or this game, but I feel like this was the ultimate go to your friend's house after school and play Super Nintendo. I feel like everyone played this game. Played it a bunch of times on emulators and Wii and Switch, and I just wanted to have this as a display piece for the collection. All right, our next game we have is Alright, so we have a Nintendo cartridge. And we have Final Fantasy. This came out in December of 1987. And this is a game that I had, but I never realized its potential or even what I had because I was too young. I didn't get back into playing it until I was older on emulators. I had no idea what I was doing. I never made it far. I can never even get past the first dungeon, I think. I just remember I liked the Black Mage a lot because he reminded me of Orko from He-Man. But yeah, Final Fantasy for Nintendo. It was one of those grind 'em out games. Super sick, super excited to have this in the collection. Let's go ahead and open up our next package. All right, so the next game that we have is RC ProAm Racing, and this is in great shape. The label on it is very clean. This guy came out in 1988. And it was one of my favorite games that I actually owned when I was a kid. As you move through the levels, you get to drive different cars, you get different upgrades, you get little weapons to sabotage other vehicles. Such a classic game, and I'm happy to finally have it back in my collection. I believe there's 3 more games in this package. All right, so our next game is Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. This game came out in 1989, so it has a very clean label. The back has a little sticker on it, but that's okay, we'll get it out. So this is another game that I never owned personally. My cousin had this, and I remember as kids we tried so hard to beat this game and we could never do it. I don't think I saw the Technodrome until I was in my 20s. This game was so hard but so awesome. I still to this day can't get that sound when you hit the seaweed in the water level when you're defusing bombs. I can't get it out of my head. It's still stuck in there. Sick game. Absolutely stoked to have it back in the collection. Our next game up is it's a gold cartridge, so you know it's only one of 2 games. It's not the OG, but that's okay. We have Adventures of Link, so Zelda 2. I've passed a few times on the original Zelda. I just want that one to be in the best condition that I can get it in. And I know everybody else that wants the same thing, so I'm looking for a clean copy of that game before I just pull the trigger on one. So here we have Zelda 2, The Adventures of Link. The label on it is clean. So I never owned this game, but this is a game that I rented a few times. And I was always really confused as a kid when I was playing it because I didn't know if I was playing Zelda or Mario. It was a weird hybrid of the 2 games, I felt. This game was impossible for an 8-year-old, so I don't even remember how far I got or anything like that. I just know that it was real hard, and in the 2 days when I would rent it, I could never beat it. I'm gonna have to try to do a playthrough now as an adult to see if I can beat the game. If not anything, just for that awesome soundtrack. All right, and our last game of the bunch, we have Super Mario 2. Now there was a little tear on the label there, but that's okay. I got a great price for all 3 of these games. They were in a little bundle. I'm happy to have it now. It was almost like a throw-in for buying the other 2 games. Kind of like the Adventures of Link game. This game was totally mind-blowing as a kid because you played Mario for so long, then you get Mario 2 and it's completely different. You're not jumping on Koopas and mushrooms. You're pulling out radishes and throwing eggs and potions at people. It's super weird. I will say, though, that the soundtrack to this game was absolutely fire. And the other cool thing that I liked about this game is that you can change characters, and each character had their own special jump that you can do. Like Princess Peach could just basically float through the board. I need to get a clean copy of Mario 3. That's definitely on the list for the next haul. So those are our pickups for today. Definitely added some awesome games to the collection. We're starting off with Nintendo and Super Nintendo. We'll eventually graduate to some of the other systems, but I'm going to check some of these Nintendo games off my list first. If you are a video game fan, be sure to stay tuned to future video game hauls. If you haven't yet, go ahead and drop me a like. Subscribe to the channel. If you are new here, I make 2 new videos each week about comics, cards, and collectibles. I have a lot more videos planned, a lot more stuff on the way. But until next time, may the comic gods bless your back issue bins, may all your pulls be fire, and I will see you in the next video.